In this video, we're going to introduce multivariable functions. We'll start first with ways in which we write functions. So when we have functions in one variable, which are the functions that we dealt with in Calculus 1 and Calculus 2, our functions were y equals f of x, where x is the independent variable. That's what we mean by one variable. And y depends on x. The way that I write this, y equals f of x, is the explicit way of writing the function. Oops. Explicit. And if we write it implicitly, then we might have something that looks like f of xy equals 0. Where you have an equation in terms of x and y is understood to be a function of x. In two variables, that means that now we have two independent variables. And so we have z now is defined as a function of x and y, where both x and y are independent variables. And this is again the explicit form. And implicitly we would write f of x, y, z equals 0. This is the implicit form of the function. So that means you might have something, for example, x squared plus y squared minus z equals 7. This is understood to be a function z that depends on x and y, but it's implicitly defined. So let's return to our definition of a function. In one variable, we knew that a function was a map that took an input value and mapped it to exactly one output value. So for every input, we had exactly one output. For two variables, we have a function defined as z equals f of xy, and we assign to every point x, y in our domain. So now our domain is 2 dimensions, and we give it a unique real value z. So I'm just going to skip our chart for a moment and show you a little bit what I mean here visually. So when we think of a function in one variable, the functions that you dealt with again in Calc 1 and 2, we had an explicit form y equals f of x. That means the domain are some values of x. Maybe it's the entire real line, maybe it's just from, let's say, 0 to infinity, whatever it may be. But the domain is one dimension, a one-dimensional domain that just specifies what values of x will make sense in our function and give us an output of a real value. Now, I just drew a function here in R2, so a function of one variable, not related to our domain here, but this is the function y equals x cubed. You can see that our domain is all real numbers, but all real numbers means all of the types of values that x can take to give us a real output for y. But our graph lives in R2. Our graph lives on the plane. So a function of one variable has a domain in one dimension, and the graph lives in 2 dimensions. If we jump one more dimension higher, when we think about a function in 2 variables, now we have an explicit form z equals f of xy. Our domain is a set of points in R2. So maybe the domain is some region in R2. Maybe it looks like this. I don't know. That's in R2, our domain, and then our range or our function will live in R3. So let's suppose that I have a domain here in R2 that's on our plane, xy plane. Our range is going to give us a surface. Maybe it looks like this, defined on that domain, so that for every point in our domain, our point xy in the domain, we get an output that will give us the height, z, that will land us on the surface. So the input is a set of points x, y. The outputs are z values, heights above the domain that will produce the surface. All right, so let's think, can we extend this to even higher dimensions? Let's make a chart here to help us understand how we can do that. So if we start with number of independent variables, let's say we have 1, like x, then our function will look like y equals f of x in its explicit form, or f of xy equals 0 in its implicit form. The dimension of the domain lives in R1, so real numbers for x, and the dimension of the graph will be on the plane R2. Just like we saw in the example below, these are the functions that you've seen in Calculus 1 and 2. If we jump one dimension higher, now we have 2 independent variables. Explicitly, our function will look like z equals a function that depends on both x and y. Implicitly, we define the function f of x, y, and z equals 0. That just means we've moved z into part of the equation. It's not explicitly solved for z. The domain is on the xy plane in R2, and the dimension of the graph is in R3. Because now for every point at the xy plane, we have a z that gives us the height of the surface. So this is where we will live mostly in multivariable calculus. But we can jump higher in dimensions, and we can say, what if we have 3 independent variables? Then that's called a function of 3 variables. Explicit definition might be, let's say w depends on x, y, and z. Our domain is in space in R3, and the graph of the function is in R4, 1 dimension higher, which we cannot see. So the idea here is the dimension of the domain is 1 dimension lower than the dimension of the graph. If we jump to n dimensions, of course we can't see these things anymore, we might write something like y equals f of x1, x2, all the way to x sub n. Because we're in 2 dimensions, if we write it explicitly, then we would have some function of x1 all the way to x sub n plus 1 equals 0. Our domain will lie in Rn, and the dimension of the graph will be in R of n plus 1. So here you can notice that the domain is 1 dimension less than where our graph will be. So once again, primarily we're going to focus on functions of 2 variables, where our domain is some set in R2 in the xy plane, and our range is z, the values of z in R, that give us points on our surface.